Anyway, I think we should get going for those of you who have made it on time. So well done. I guess others can join us as they can. I'm just hoping that they have the right links. Anyway, tonight we are going to be talking about how you can buy property in a very hot, fast-paced market. So before we get going, we're just going to say that whether you're a beginner or an experienced investor, the Property Club is your personal assistant in investing, financing and sourcing the right properties. Been doing it for a long time, and we mentor you through every step of your real estate journey and help you build wealth for your family, your life and your retirement. So why do we do that? And it's because 90% of Australians retire on a part pension and remain poor, but not our members. We create millionaires. So get ready and we'll show you how we do that. So who are we? We are the Property Club. Used to be called the Investors Club if you've been around that long, but Kevin Young started the club 26 years ago. He was financially independent at a very young age. He's now 73, he's still very active in the club. He loves people, he loves property, and he's created a club of investors that help one another. Some of us do it full-time like myself, but others just do part-time. But we're all investors and we're helping one another. We love to get together at workshops. It's free membership for life. And we've created over 5,000 millionaires. Now that's not very difficult in this day and age to be a millionaire in property. However, yeah, we probably need to revise those figures. But, you know, we've helped people buy over 20,000 properties, and we definitely work for you, not the seller. So that's the difference between a real estate agent and a property mentor in the club. We work for you. The seller works for the person who's selling the house. So, you know, we work for the buyer. We work for you. And that's a really important difference for the Property Club. So we mentor you through every phase of the journey, and we've got very many years of combined experience to help you do that. So tonight, the presenters are myself, Catherine Doherty, and Enza Lyons. Enza is another researcher in the club. We're both property mentors. We're both real estate agents, and I'm a branch manager here with a team of mentors. I'm on the Gold Coast and Enza's in Brisbane. So it's a little bit about us there. We are qualified, but more than that, we just love to help people. We have a passion for property, and we especially like to, you know, help investors buy the best deal they can. So that's a little bit about us. Tonight's question was how to find and buy property in a hot market. So at the moment, if you're in Queensland, you might be in other parts of the country, but Queensland is a very, very hot market. So this is a little economics lesson 101. We are in a rising market. So if you look at the property clock, which we'll have a look at a bit later, we are at number 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're in the left-hand side coming up to the peak of the market, but we're definitely in a rising market. We have low supply and high demand. So that's basic economics right there. Low interest rates as well. We have COVID-19, which has created so many people wanting to live here in the warmer climate. Got New South Wales, like I said before, people every day we're talking to on the phone who want to move here or buy here. We've got rising rents, we've got low vacancy everywhere, 1% across most of the growth regions, and 3% is an average market. So now we are way below an average market. You can see on the graph to the right there that you know, vacancy rates are low, as low as they've been for like 20 years. So it's absolutely incredible. There's population growth, natural, national, and we will get back to international growth as well. So, you know, we just want to help people buy now to create valuable capital growth for your portfolio. And look, there's a shortage of land, there's no doubt about it. Enza and I might talk a bit about it later, but you know, there's just it's very hard to get land here in Queensland at the moment, especially registered land. So the economics lesson is, you know, short supply, high demand equals rising prices. So it's not really difficult to work out. And of course, everyone wants to live here in Queensland, sunny Queensland. There's a picture of Noosa there. If you've never been, I would thoroughly recommend it. So how do we do it? How do we buy property in this fast market? So first of all, I want to say you work with your property mentor. You work with someone who is here and on the ground. You talk through your goals with them. We work out what funds you've got, what you need to live off, what you want to live in retirement, what you dream of. We complete the financial wealth check. We work on your property strategy together, and we complete a needs analysis. So we do all this for you. We don't charge you anything. We're not financial planners, although we are property financial planners. And we consider a number of different properties and strategies for you, and we do cash flow analysis. So as I said before, the club mentors are amazing. There's 3 of us there, but there's mentors all around the country. So if you don't know who your mentor is, contact the club and we'll definitely put you in touch with them. But as I said before, we work for you, not the seller. So that's the first point. Talk to your mentor. Second point, get finance ready. Now, I can't stress this enough at the moment. We talk to builders and developers every day. They want to know that you're ready with your finance. They want to see your pre-approval letter. They're asking your salaries. That we have not seen times like this. They really want to prove that if they let you have their block of land, and you put an expression of interest on it, they want to know that you can do it. So getting finance ready is really vital. So my recommendation is that you contact us and complete the financial wealth check. We can run it past our numbers, we can run it past a few brokers, we can get you the best deals, and we can get the right funding structure for you to go forward. So we have specialist lenders that will work with you, and there's a quick calculation there for you, and obviously it's a very quick roundabout way of working out what you can borrow. But if you times your income by 7 and then take off all your debt, then it'll leave you with what you can actually borrow. Of course, you've got to prove all that to the banks. It's just a little quick ready reckoner. So the third thing is work with your club researcher. Now, researchers are in the club. We're in every state. And what we do, we're out scouting about, finding the properties, talking to the builders, negotiating on your behalf, and we are getting property before it actually hits the open market. So we're like buyer's agents without the fee, and you'll do really well by working with a club researcher, and your mentor will put you in touch with one. But we all source property in all the states. So I'm talking about Queensland tonight because that's where Enza and I are, and it's a great time to buy Queensland. Even if you're in WA or Victoria, it's a great time to buy Queensland. So I'm talking about that tonight. But we have them in Victoria, New South Wales, WA, Darwin, all around the country. We have property researchers. So we're going to be finding the best deals for you. We have longevity in the industry, so we have great relationships with builders and developers, and we also know who not to use. So we get exclusive property before it hits the market, and we negotiate really good deals for you. So we make sure that we're finding the right location and the rent return and the growth potential is there for your property portfolio. So number 4, be first in line. Remember, we're looking at how we buy property in a fast market. So the next point is to be first in line. So how do you do that? At the moment, we've got people sleeping out for blocks. We've got people queuing up, taking their sleeping bags and sleeping out so they can be first at the agent's office when the estate opens for sale. So they released a number of blocks. I was talking to a builder today. He said he went to buy 20 blocks. The release was 100 blocks. There was 200 expressions of interest put in on a waiting list before it was even released. So there was 100 blocks and 200 people wanting to buy them. So it's very competitive out there. The land developers are putting their prices up every 5 minutes. We're trying to get deals that are pre-boom prices. It is getting harder to do that, but we have had some very good deals for our members. When you work with us, there's no waiting lists or lining up or sleeping out, but we can find property for you in all the growth regions, and they've been selling out within a number of hours. So the next thing is you've really got to be mentally ready in all of this. So you've got to be prepared to act quick, and it's really not our normal style. Our normal style is that we work through all the numbers, we work through all the process, we work through with you step by step. But in this market, you can't afford to be working through all of those steps before you secure the property, or you'll just miss out. So we help you to buy the right property and then do your due diligence after that. So you've got to be mentally ready. And just a little point down the bottom there is where to buy. We're not doing a where to buy or a location study tonight, but just a little quick one is anywhere in that Golden Triangle from Sunshine Coast down to the Gold Coast and out to Toowoomba is pretty much all the growth regions of Southeast Queensland. And most of them, yeah, increasing in population, and property prices are rising. So, yep, we can zero it down to suburbs and etc. and more detail, but that's just a little bit of an overview. So number 4, you've got to be first in line, talking to your mentor, getting financially ready, and then this is a big one, right? You've got to be brave. So you've got to be really brave to submit the EOI and the holding deposit, especially if you've not done it before. Now, there's experienced investors maybe online, there may be not. You might be more new people just finding out how you do this thing, but you've got to be brave no matter what. So you've got to take the direction of your mentor and act. If you don't act, you miss out. And like, you know, the rich people acting right now, they're cashed up and they buy. They buy, actually probably already bought before it hits this point, but you know, you've got to act. So you take the property off the market, you submit the expression of interest under the direction of your mentor, you transfer the holding deposit, you let go of that $1,000, right? That $1,000 is going to formally hold your property, and then it's fully refundable should you not go ahead for any reason. So it's not locked away, it sits in a trust account, but it just shows the buyer, the seller, that you are serious. So that'll secure the property for you, and then you continue your due diligence after that. So we're doing a little bit back to front these days. Okay, so we used to do all the due diligence first, make sure you can make an informed, confident decision. But now we are doing it a little bit backwards because it's a hot market. That's what we're talking about, buying in a hot market. So we can answer all your questions going forward before you are committed to the contract. So once you sign up the contract, you've still got your finance clause, so you've got plenty of time to answer all the questions and make sure everything's right for you to continue moving forward. So realizing all the time that you are in a hot market, there's very short supply. You've got to keep that in the back of your mind and know that there's many other buyers out there. So really the developers and builders don't care. We care about you, but they don't really care. They just want to sell their property, and they know that there's plenty of buyers if you don't buy it. So it's the old banana story, like there's, you know, very few bananas in the store, the price is rising. So Kevin Young always talks about the banana story. If a you know, storm goes through the banana plantation, what happens? The price of bananas goes up, doesn't it? Because they're in very short supply. So that's what's happening now in the property market. There's just a very, very short supply. So that's number 5, you've got to be brave and take action. So number 6 is then we go backwards and we do the due diligence. We're still going to do all this for you. Just because it's a hot market doesn't mean we are going to skip all of our due diligence. No, the researchers have already done a lot to actually find you the right properties. However, then we go backwards, we do the due diligence, we make sure we do your cash flow analysis, we look at your cash flow, all the expenses, all the income, and we do all the numbers and we personalize that cash flow analysis for you. And you also have, of course, your finance clause on the contract. So the finance clause is, you know, minimum 21 days because the banks are so slow. And usually we have to get extensions, but extensions aren't always granted in this market. So we want to get as many days on that contract as possible, you know, 21 to 28 days, because banks sometimes take 3 or 4 weeks to even look at the application. So we really want to make sure we've got enough days on there for our finance clause, And once then you are fully happy with your due diligence, you might want to drive out there, you might want to fly up here if you're not in lockdown. You're happy to drive you to the property, or we can do a Zoom inspection. So we've been doing this more and more, where we'll go to the property and we'll Zoom you, we'll show you through the property on camera. So that's a great way to do it if you don't want to fly up here. But we'll make sure you're fully happy, and then you go unconditional on the contract. So we're doing our due diligence after we've secured the property. Now, if for some reason you're not satisfied, which might happen, if you're not satisfied for some reason, I doubt it, but if you're not satisfied, then you can withdraw the expression of interest at that time, and you'll be fully refunded the $1,000 holding deposit. Now I'm talking $1,000, but some of them are asking for $5,000 at the moment. But you do get it back. So don't be afraid. Like I said before, you've got to be brave, and you've got to put down your deposit. You've got to put down your expression of interest. Then we come back and do your due diligence. Now that example there is a real cash flow. It's got all the red is the expenses, the green is all the income, the blue is our tax benefits and depreciation and the club secrets, buying in the right location, and then the yellow is your positive cash flow. Look at that, $192 per week. Now that's probably after tax, but some of the properties we are presenting are positive cash flow before tax. So before you're even reliant on your job or reliant on the tax return, the rent is covering all the expenses from day one. So ask us about positive cash flow properties and we'll be happy to show those for you. So tonight we've just been through how you can buy, and now we'd like to show you, Enza and myself have got some properties to show you, property showcase. We've got Moreton Bay Terrace homes, we've got Gold Coast Canal townhouses, Brisbane townhouses, we've got a dual income example, or co-living dual income, depends what they call them these days. House and land packages in Moreton and Logan. So these are examples, okay? So look, today they were current, tomorrow they might not. So you've got to contact us for availability and we'll be happy to source the right thing for you. But at least it gives you an idea of what's happening in Queensland and what the prices are like. So you've got some pretty good price points there, around the 500 to 600 mark, and under, from 450, 460. So, it's getting harder to get them down that low, mind you, but still some really good price points in Queensland. So Moreton Bay is our first one. These were some amazing terrace homes. We've got them in a couple of different locations up there. And around the 485 mark, we had some lower at 456. I think they're all gone, but there's 3 and 4 bedders. They're getting a good rental yield of 5% plus and positive cash flow. You've got zero body corporate on a terrace style home. So terraces aren't townhouses. They're on their own piece of land. You can see there by the fencing, it's a small piece of land. It's a small lot design, but it's on its own piece of land. And there's no body corporate, so it's not like a townhouse in a complex. And they're fantastic. They're house and land. They're on 2 contracts. But yeah, happy to find you terrace homes. They're great. So that's property number 1. So like I said, contact us if any of these look appealing to you, but we can source the right thing for you depending on your borrowing capacity, depending on what you want to achieve with the property. We can go to the market, like I said, and source it for you. So number 2, these are beautiful canal townhouses on the Gold Coast. So the picture down the right-hand corner is the actual development. Behind those lots are house blocks on the front. So the house blocks are around the 600,000 mark for the block, and they're building another $600,000 house on top of it. So, they're $1 million properties, and some of them have boats with them. But it's beautiful, not far to surfers and all of what the Gold Coast has to offer. But this is a really nice canal development. You've also got access to the waterways from that canal. So you can go out to the ocean from that canal, which you can't with all of them up there. So beautiful. They're really nicely finished, melee appliances, timber plank flooring, high ceilings, double garage, really nice Gold Coast townhouse. So happy to help you with that. You can see there the vacancy rate's really low. And we did have some off the plan for $575, or the completed ones, which were closer to the water, were from about $730, $740, $750. But really beautiful location and really nicely finished. So that's our Gold Coast Canal townhouses. So Brisbane suburbs. Now this is a bit of a general slide because I can source Brisbane townhouses, myself and Enza. We can source you townhouses throughout Brisbane. But this one's like was 22 k's to the Brisbane CBD, but we have others that are a bit further out than that. I've got some completed apartments, really nice apartments, which are only 13 k's to the city. So, you know, we can source all of that sort of thing for you as well. And townhouses generally 3 bed, 2 bath, 2 car, not always 2 car, sometimes 1 car. You know, they've got a body corporate fee of around, depends, one $25 a week, some $40 a week, some $50, depends on the whether they have pools and things like that. So yeah, townhouses, they're great though, good rent estimate, they rent really well, and they're still positive cash flow, especially with interest rates being so low. So again, subject to availability. This particular one I'm showing you here on the right, they were nice large townhouses and there was only a couple left, so I'm not even sure how many are left there, but they were completed and ready to settle. So that's a plus too, because you're not waiting for construction. So Brisbane suburb townhouses, can source those for you. This is amazing. I've been selling these a lot. So is Enza, the dual income properties, dual living. You can see in the picture here, this is a nice one because it's got a big double garage on the 3-bedder and it's got a 2-bed on the small side. So if you want more information on these, sing out, because we've got some videos of walkthroughs and we've got floor plans and we've got some example properties on these. And I've got a full webinar that I did also, which explains how they work. But basically you get 2 rents on 1 title. So in this case, you've got a 600 square metre block, you've got a house of 208 square metres, and in that house, you've got purpose-built 3-bed plus a 2-bed. So some of them are 3-bed plus 1 bed, 4-bed plus 1 bed, and that 1-bedder will rent really easily to a single person, or even a couple, or an older person, or it can be a home office, or whatever you want it to be, granny flat. You can have granny in there, you can have your teenage kids in there, you can have whoever you like in there, but you're going to get your best rent return if you rent them individually. And investors have been doing that and achieving a very high rent return. I've got 6+% there. Usually they're at least that. So they're, you know, between 6 and 7% return on the duals. So positive cash flow from day one. You're not reliant on your job at all or your tax deduction, even though you do get very good deductions because you've got higher depreciation. So you've got 2 kitchens, for instance, so you've got 2 stoves. So instead of depreciating 1 stove, you're depreciating 2 stoves. So they have higher depreciation, which is great for your tax benefits, and 2 rents on 1 set of rates. So you only got 1 set of rates and you've got all that income to dispose of however you wish. So a lot of people have been reducing their home debt or their personal debt of some sort, the non-deductible debt, or of course saving up for your next purchase, popping it in your offset account, reducing the interest on your own home, and then saving that for your next purchase. So look, these are fantastic properties. They are getting harder to get. This one was in the Logan Shire. We do have them in Ipswich Shire. We also have them in the Moreton Bay area. So yeah, call out to us if you are interested in that type of property. Enza, I think, is going to mention co-living a little later, but co-living is also another word that we're seeing a lot of, where they're sharing houses as well with different rents on each room, but she can talk to you a little bit more about that. So dual living. Now we are up to Enza actually, because these are her house and land packages. So I'm going to ask Enza to join us now, and she's going to come in for a little while and just talk about some of the stock that she's been sourcing. And she's been getting some really good house and land packages all over Southeast Queensland. So I'll let Enza talk to you. Welcome, Enza.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine, and thanks for showing us how to buy in a hot market. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm really excited. We've been getting some really amazing stock at the moment that's happening, and still more to come in the next few weeks. So we've been getting some new builders online, and just looking forward to some of the products that we're going to be having. So the ones that we've got here on the pictures there is a new builder that we've got, and he's managed to get some land in the Moreton Bay area in Launton, and there's a lovely an estate that's being built there. So that gives you an example of the price range, around 475 to 464,000, and they're nice little homes that they build. And then we've got they're also building property. They're also he's also sourcing land in all different places around Brisbane, the Redbank Plains area, next week hopefully in Victoria Point in the Redland Bay area, Moray Field, which is in the Moreton Bay area. So he's really, they're really sourcing property for us, so we'll have a lot more choice of areas around the Southeast Queensland. And also we're going to be getting some properties in Toowoomba, which some people have been inquiring. So feel free to contact us if you have any areas that you would like us to look for property. Let us know, whether it's a house and land package, or even a townhouse or terrace homes, or even co-living. So this here on Logan area, we've got a few at Logan Reserve. Prices are ranging around 493,000, 508,000 and 489,000, and then we've got some at Underwood at the moment in the Logan area. So the next slide. So we've got some really big properties coming up very soon and planning to start getting built, and one of them is the Riverside Terraces home at Loganlea, and this is being put together for co-living because there's it's close by to the Logan Hospital, the university, shopping centres, transport, schools, and you can just go onto the freeway to go to the Gold Coast or to Brisbane, and it's easy transport. And these this new building has they're 3-level townhouse. They are the ground floor is a garage, a double garage with a granny style bedroom with an ensuite and a little kitchenette. And then you go up onto the first floor, and it's a communal kitchen and living area with a lovely balcony. And then on the second floor, the top floor, there's 3 to 4 bedrooms, and they're still designing them at the moment, but they are also with this ensuite, bedroom and kitchenette, so they're sort of fully self-contained. So because of the area that it's in, it suits student housing, nurses, people that are just wanting to share housing. And there's also more of the co-living that is going to be presented to us soon, and that is 3-bedroom fully self-contained kitchenettes with bedroom and ensuite and a communal living area. This one's a new one that's coming up at Jacobs Well. It's more set up as a like a community, where it will be landscaped with lovely driveways to the properties. And this is only a plan. This is only a drawing, but it's going to look attractive once it's landscaped and everything. And so we're looking forward to that. So some of these properties are unique, so it's good to hear how the members, their thoughts on it, and knowing whether you're interested in these properties, so that we're providing the property that's going to suit your portfolio. But there's a huge demand for all these different areas. So today I found out there's a dual key that's going to become available in the Launton area. There's a possible duplex also in the Moreton Bay area. So there's a lot of different properties that are coming up, and we just, you know, just let us know if there's any certain areas that you want to buy a property. We'll do our best to find one for you. So we're quite excited with the team that we have now, with the team of builders that are really wanting to serve the members the best way we can, and providing a wonderful product at a very good price.
Awesome. Thank you, Enza. Yeah, she works really hard at sourcing the right properties for us. So there's a few researchers in Queensland, but Enza's doing an excellent job. So thank you for that, Enza.
Thank you, Catherine.
No problem. So I'm just going to run over quickly before we wrap it up. We like to just stick with half an hour usually. We're going a little bit over now, but honestly, why do we buy in Queensland? It's low interest rates, government grants really boosted everything, the rising rents, COVID, people aren't travelling as much. There's a huge need for accommodation, interstate migration, interstate buyers, heaps of them, high rent returns, positive cash flow, and good value for median prices. You know, they're not the $700,000-800,000 price points that you see in other states. And I've circled their rising market, my horrible little circle, but this is where we are here over here in Brisbane and Queensland, Sunshine Coast. So we're not at the peak of the market yet. We're not in a declining market. We're in this rising market, and we're going to be here for quite a long time, to be honest. It's not hit the market. It's got a long way to go. So we're happy for to be in that Queensland market. I mean, I've owned property in Queensland and WA for a long time, and they've been low markets. You might be one of those people, you know, that we haven't seen growth for a long time, but we are seeing growth now, and it's time now to jump on board. If you are ready to buy, it's a great market to buy in. So work with your property mentor, be finance ready, work with a club researcher to source the right property, be first in line, be brave, like I said, to submit that EOI and take the property off the market. You'll be so glad you did. Pay the holding deposit, conduct your due diligence, and then we'll hold your hand throughout the whole contract process until you've settled that property. Now you know, why wouldn't you buy? Own the property for $0 a day. Basically, it doesn't cost you anything because all of the rent's going to cover all of the expenses. But every day that you delay, you're burning dollars, and hence my little picture there. But, you know, I have talked to people. COVID was a very uncertain time, and I've talked to people since, and they're like, oh, yeah, the prices are going up, but I'm going to wait for them to drop. Well, guess what? They're not dropping at the moment, and they're not going to drop for a long time. So the herd is actually rushing in right now. It's like a Myer Boxing Day sale, I'm telling you. People are rushing in and frantically trying to get into the market for fear of missing out, that FOMO. But you don't need to be frantic when you work with us. We will assist you. We will confidently and surely assist you into the market, but don't delay, because every day you do delay, you are burning dollars because your properties are going up every day. And just a little story, like I had a client buy a property. It was one of the dual properties up in Morayfield. They paid $539,000 for it. House and land package. They put $10,000 worth of extras. They wanted an additional garage door. They wanted brick all the way around the outside instead of the lightweight. So they paid $549,000. And before we got the contracts, the developer rings and says, sorry, we put the price up by $23,000. So now she's got to pay $572,000, but she has chosen to go ahead with it because the prices are rising, and she's still going to have excellent return on that property. She's going to have 2 rents coming in, and she's happy to keep moving forward. but that's what's happening in the market. The prices are rising all the time. Unfortunately, developers get a little bit greedy, and we cannot really control that. And it's their right, it's their land. They can price it however they wish, but it's very difficult to argue with a developer. I've tried. So we have to pay the asking price. We have to get it off the market, and we'd be silly if we didn't, because we're going to make money. At the end of the day, by the time that house is built, you're going to be up 50 grand. And I shouldn't quote numbers, but you know, you are going to be, you're going to make money just buying the property. Just getting it off the market, you're going to make money. It's going to be a great decision. So your next steps, contact your mentor. We're here to help you. Ask for your financial wealth check. Don't delay another day. And even though I'm putting a little bit of pressure on tonight, saying you really need to act, you need to not delay, you need to get it off the market, you know, it is true, but we still don't pressure you. We'll never pressure you. We'll never shoehorn you into a property. We'll always advise our best. We'll assist you as investors, one investor to another. And you've always got that way to, you know, pull out. You can always pull out anyway. So it's not a problem, but we would encourage you to act if you're in the market. We would encourage you to call us, to email us, and we'll do our best to source the right properties for you. And so we really want to just thank you tonight for attending. And it's Catherine Doherty and Enza Lyons, and we'd be really happy to talk to you soon. It's funny sitting here talking to myself, but I trust you've enjoyed the webinar. It's 20 to 8 now, so if you haven't had your dinner, you better go and do that. And yeah, we'll see you online. We'll see you at another webinar. We'll see you at a workshop. We've got some state workshops coming up all around the country, so watch your emails for those. We'll have other webinars. Of course, we try and run them Wednesday night, so they're always on a different topic. I trust you got something out of tonight. I'd love to hear from you if you're looking for property. So thanks again. We'll sign off now. Thank you everybody for attending.